Hi everyone on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and football fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts for Week 1 and for Week 2 for my picks for the 2023 NFL season. Check it out. Okay, for my thoughts for Week 1, it was a pretty surprising Week 1, which is normally Week 1 is really a surprise. Usually that's the toughest one to do because you don't know what you're going to expect out of it. But anyways, surprisingly, my straight up, I did not really that great. I went 7-9 overall. If he picked took my picks, I'm sorry. But against the spread, I went better than that. I went 8-8 across this board. I went 500 on that one. And over and under, I went the big donut, 0-3 as usual. So, what are you gonna do? But anyways, my thoughts about Week 1, the Chiefs and the Lions. Starting off with that one. That was a really surprising one, to say the least. Lions defensively definitely improved from a year ago, which is definitely a big improvement for the Lions to get what they need to do in the playoffs and try to make it far to the playoffs. So I really think that's going to be continuing down the stretch down the road for the Lions. But overall, for the Kansas City Chiefs, it just goes to show you that Travis Kelce is going to make a comeback because, Patrick Mahomes right now is like Tom Brady on his last year with the Patriots with no help on wide receiver without that Travis Kelce. So anyways, Carolina and Atlanta. Yeah, I was kind of impressed with Riddler. That game. Riddler played smart plays. He did pretty solid on football. As for Carolina, Bryce Young, he looked pretty good. Okay, he still started off strong, but he needs more work. He needs some learning experience, and I'm glad he's doing it right now. Baltimore and Houston, it just goes to show you how Houston is right now. That's all I can tell you. Cincinnati and Cleveland. Now, if you would have told me that Cleveland would have dominated the Cincinnati Bengals, I would have thought you were crazy, but they did. Sure enough, but for Cincinnati's case, I think that they're gonna redeem themselves and find out who they really are, how they're going to handle the situation. As for Cleveland, you better start pounding the ball. Start making that pounding right now. Otherwise, Cincinnati's going to creep up in the division, and so can Baltimore. The Minnesota Vikings and Tampa Bay, I'm kind of impressed with how Baker Mayfield handled with Tampa Bay. I think this is a perfect situation for Tampa Bay. I think he made good solid on the ball and everything, make some smart decisions, and as for Minnesota, Kirk Cousins making another disappointment. I wouldn't be surprised if it would be his last year in Minnesota. In Tennessee and New Orleans, Derek Carr looked like Derek Carr again. I think all he needed to do was get out of the Raiders, and I think that's what he needed to do. Same thing, he made some smart plays, and that's what he did. And Tennessee, and I like the fact what they did with the two members of the ALS community, but both of their respective players, hadn't been dealing with ALS. I'm trying to think who they are. I know Steve Gleason from the Saints is one of them. So I'm trying to think who else was on there from the Tennessee Titans. On that, to say the least. You look it up again. I just had that. Just looked it up and I just couldn't remember. So it was kind of funny. I had it up a few minutes ago. We were looking on that. Oh, Tim Shaw. Thank you. Yeah, they did a respectable tributes to both teams on that with Tim Shaw and Steve Gleason, who were battling ALS right now, which is a very bad disease right now. This is no cure in it. I just really hope there is a cure down the future, but other than that, there's no cure right now for it, though. So anyways, I really liked it. They had this honorary captains for both of those guys. That was really cool for the NFL to do that, And I hope down the road there is a cure for ALS because it's a really bad disease right now. Anyways, San Francisco and Pittsburgh. It just goes to show you that Pittsburgh's in rebuilding mode, but they're still a little ways away. I think they could still handle it, but not right now. As for San Francisco, Brock Purdy looked pretty good. Offensively looked pretty good and everything else. So, see how it goes from there. In Chicago and Green Bay, it's the beginning of the Jordan Love era. That's all I can tell you about that. And I think Chicago's going to face down a similar path with what they did with Aaron Rodgers here, which I'll get to him in a bit. The Denver Broncos and the Vegas Raiders, it definitely was It was definitely a kick to the gut on that one. Wait, hold on a minute. Yeah, hold on just a minute. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I was wrong. I'm sorry. But anyways, I just had the wrong thing on there. I'm sorry. But anyways, it goes to show you that Russell Wilson still needs help on Denver. Miami and the LA Chargers, that was definitely looked like a playoff preview between the two teams right there. I'll say the least. But I think after that, it could be a chance that Miami could have a shot at the playoffs more than the Chargers are. Okay, the Philadelphia Eagles and my New England Patriots. I have to say, I was very impressed with my Patriots offensively. After the pick six for a touchdown from Mac Jones, and after the Ezekiel Elliott fumble, they just bounced right back, and it made it a close game at halftime, down by 2, and they almost had the chance to tie the game, or at least get to the game-winning field goal. But I made some questionable decision making on Bill Belichick's side, so I don't know on that one. So, anyways, and they had a chance to win the game, but Bartlett missed the 2 feet in. He thought it was still college football, and he had the 1 foot down instead of the 2 feet down. So, they had a little learning experience from him. But they almost pulled it off. I gotta say, defensively and offensively, they both sides of the ball. My Patriots played well. So did the Philadelphia Eagles. They both played both solid games, and I think down the road, I think that my New England Patriots is going to be a sleeper in this season. I'm not gonna, like I mentioned in my early preview, they are going to be a sleeper. But to say the least, I was really impressed overall with Mac Jones. He definitely bounced back. He made like 11 passes in a row, went over 300 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Very solid game. Hunter Henry had a hell of a game too. They all played well. I mean, who knows? Who knows what can do against Miami this week? Anyways, that being said, Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. I'm telling you right now, I think the Rams are for real again. I think that hangover from last year, I think they're going to be bouncing back where they were in like a couple of years ago. So, we'll see. But anyways, that being said, Seattle, I think they have a little more defensively they need to work on more than the offense right now. But I think, personally, I think Geno Smith is really okay. I think he'd be fine. See how they do. Oh, and I forgot, Jacksonville and Indianapolis. I heard Jacksonville and Jacksonville. Oh yeah, Jacksonville and Indianapolis. I'm sorry, I had just had a lot thing for a minute on my notes. I just really hope that Anthony Richardson's okay. I hope it's nothing too serious from him. I think, yeah, he leaves late. I know he left late in an injury. I just hope he's okay. Wish nothing but the best from him. But anyways, yeah, that being said, Trevor Lawrence looks pretty solid. So, I really think this is going to be Jacksonville's division again. It kind of looked like it that way. In Washington and Arizona, wow. I got to tell you, Arizona put up a good fight, but they end up pulling it off. But the Commanders pulled it off. That's all I can say the least. And for Sunday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants, seeing the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles this year, this is going to be a very good game to watch. I can't wait to see this game. So, those 2 series coming up, we'll see how they do. But the Giants came up and dominated, and Daniel Jones looks like a big disappointment. So, but you know what? I think they're going to regroup and see what they do from there, and go from there. And the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets, I just hope I can send my condolences to Aaron Rodgers. Makes a speedy recovery from the ACL injury. That looked pretty bad, to say the least. He went down pretty bad. And hate to tell you this, the New York Jets wasted all their money on on Aaron Rodgers, and he popped an ACL. That's pretty bad. Now, I'm not too sure what they're going to do at quarterback. I think they're going to probably stick with Zach Wilson. I can't see anyone getting Tom Brady right now. I can't see that. I don't think Brady wants to either. So I think they're going to stick with Zach Wilson in the meantime. But they end up getting the game-winning overtime on the punt return touchdown after Buffalo tied it. And Josh Allen didn't look like himself last night. I think that was a bad step he did. Defensively, it was a good game on the defensive side of the ball. So, but other than that, it just didn't planned out for Buffalo that right now. But week 2 is on the way. Things can change. But anyways, those are my thoughts for week 1. Let's get on to my week 2 picks. Okay, let's kick things off on the Thursday night game with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Philadelphia making their home opener this week. So it's a short week for both teams. But the only thing I could see how this is going to pull out if Jalen Hurts gets to step up again on this one. But that being said, I think for the Philadelphia's case right now, keep making plays on defense and be just fine. So anyways, that being said, I think that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to make they're going to put under pressure Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins is going to throw a lot of picks. So I think that's the way that one's going to go. So I think I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles over the Minnesota Vikings in this game. On the line, though, this is where I'm going to get the Vikings on this one. The Eagles are favored by 7.5 in this game. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings plus 7.5. Over and under is 48. I'm going to shoot for under 48 because I'm not too sure if I could see them going over 40 points in this game. Anyways, let's continue on. The Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. So this is I expected a Jordan Love to go. If there's a game I get to see Jordan Love, step up the most, probably gets Atlanta. So Atlanta had a really good, solid defensive game. I really think Atlanta's defense is going to be a solid defense, probably an underrated defense this year. So I think if that case scenario, the start have a great defense for Jordan Love, this game is it. So, but anyways, I believe this is a pick'em game. So it is a pick'em game. Excuse me. So they might change it to Green Bay -1. So I might, or Atlanta +1. So anyways, no matter what's going to happen, I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers over the Atlanta Falcons. This is a big test run. I think Jordan Love's going to pull this one off. So I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers over the Atlanta Falcons in this game. On the lineup, it's a pick'em game, so I'm going to take Green Bay in the pick'em. It may switch over to the -1. So -1 for Green Bay. So if that's going to be the case, I'm going to take Green Bay -1. Or if it's going to be Atlanta side, it's going to be a Green Bay +2. So I'm going to take Green Bay against the spread no matter what in that game. The Buffalo Bills and the Vegas Raiders. Now, I expect it to be a great defensive game for both sides of the ball. Vegas defense looks pretty solid. Buffalo's defense looked pretty solid too, but I expect this game is going to be a defensive game. I can't see a high-scoring game in this game if Josh Allen's going to continue with this. But I think I'm going to give Buffalo credit for this one. It's at home. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills over the Vegas Raiders in this game. On the line, though, Buffalo is favored by 9.5 points in this game. After I saw from Buffalo last night, I'm not too confident about that one. So I'm going to take the Vegas plus 9.5 in this game. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I expect this is going to be Cincinnati going to be really upset about that blowout against against Cleveland, and I think they're going to take it on Baltimore. Now, it's going to be a fun game to watch to see. So I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals in this game over Baltimore in this game because usually when Baltimore offensively looks pretty good, defensively pretty good too, but I expect it to be like close game on this one, but I think it's gonna be too close to call, but I'm gonna take Cincinnati over Baltimore in this game in Baltimore. But on the line though, Cincinnati is favored by 3.5. It's a division game. I'm not taking any chances. I'm taking Baltimore plus 3.5. It could be a close game. The Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Seattle, they didn't really press me enough to say they can get me into a win. At least not yet right now. So I really think Detroit is on solid on both sides of the football right now. I definitely see something Detroit do and making some noise this year. So I'm going to take the Detroit Lions at home over the Seattle Seahawks in this game. On the line, this is where I'm going to get Seattle. Detroit's favored by 5.5 in this game. I'm going to take Seattle plus 5.5. The LA Chargers and the Tennessee Titans. So the LA Chargers, offensively, they looked like intolerant in that way. They looked phenomenal. Defensively, yeah. And so they need to work on that. So, but anyways, the LA Chargers, I think this is a good bounce back game for Tennessee. I hate to say that, Tennessee Titans fans, but you need to regroup right now. So that's all I can say. But anyways, not Mike Vrabel's fault. Don't fire him. But anyways, I think you should probably look at another quarterback in the draft. So, but I don't know if Ryan Tannehill has the skills anymore or anything. Not saying he's a bad quarterback. He's pretty good. But, I think it's time to move on. But you never know. Ryan Tannehill can prove me wrong like he did before. So, hey. But anyways, that being said, I think Chargers offense is too much for Tennessee. I'm going to take the LA Chargers over the Tennessee Titans in this game. Even though Tennessee's defense looked pretty good, offensively, this is where I'm going to get it. So I'm going to take the LA Chargers over the Tennessee Titans right now. On the line, though, LA Chargers are favored by 3.5 in this game. I'm going to take the LA Chargers minus 3.5. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Chicago Bears. Now, this is a game in Chicago. I'm not too sure if I can. You're not going to convince me enough about Chicago right now, at least on defense right now. I really like the offense with Justin Fields. He can make some plays. I think the problem with this is right now, I think he doesn't have the offensive line right now like my Patriots did. So I think that's the big problem for Chicago right now, and that's going to hurt Chicago. So I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Chicago Bears in this game. I think Baker Mayfield's going to put up some numbers, and I think he's going to lights out on Chicago. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay over Chicago in this game. On the line, Tampa Bay's favored by 3 in this game. I'm going to take Tampa Bay minus 3. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this game I was debating back and forth. I was tempted to take Jacksonville in this game. I was tempted because it's in Jacksonville. I almost did. But, the way I saw it with both teams, it's too close of a call. But Kansas City is favored in this game, I think. Yeah, they are. So, anyways, it's a real toss-up in this game. I expect this to be a low score, maybe an offensive plays. I can go either way. But I think Kansas City's going to probably has a slighter edge than Jacksonville right now. So I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs over the Jacksonville Jaguars. On the line, this is where I'm going to get Jacksonville. Jacksonville Jaguars are favored. Kansas City Chiefs are favored by 2.5 in this game. This game can go either way. I'm taking Jacksonville plus 2.5 because they could probably win this game. Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. The way I saw with Houston, they didn't really impress me enough to say, okay, they can get me into a win. But, with that, and also with the situation with Anthony Richardson's right now, I don't know. This is too close of a call. But I might, put kind of an upset in this one, but not my biggest upset of the week. I'll get that one in a bit. But I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts over Houston in this game. On the line, though, Indianapolis favored by, Houston's favored by 1 in this game. I'm going to take Indianapolis plus 1. The San Francisco 49ers and the Las Vegas Raiders and the LA Rams. This game I expect to be a little like a seesaw battle between two teams. Honestly, I think whoever wins this game is going to win the NFC North. That's how the way I look at it this game right now. I think the winner in that game, they're going to get that NFC North. And I said it could be the Los Angeles Rams. But who knows? After San Francisco, who knows? But I think the way I looked at it from compared to the two teams, I think San Francisco has the slight edge in this one because of their defense. Because I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers over the LA Rams in this game. In LA. And that's where I'm going to get the Rams on this one. The 49ers are favored by 8 in this game. It's a divisional game. Anything goes in division games. So I'm going to take the LA Rams plus 8. The New York Giants and the Arizona Cardinals. Now, if there's an opportunity for the New York Giants to bounce back, it's the Arizona Cardinals. But the way I saw the Cardinals defense, they looked pretty good. They looked but it was against the Washington Commanders. But that said alone, I really think this is going to be a very close of a game on this one I expect it to be. But I think I'm going to take the slight edge over the New York Giants. Take the New York Giants over the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona in this game. So I'm going to take the Giants over the Arizona Cardinals. But on the line, this is where I'm going to get with the Cardinals on this one. The Giants are favored by 4.5 in this game. After I saw in the defense, I'm going to take Arizona plus 4.5. Yeah. Dallas Cowboys and the New York Jets. Now, I was going to pick the New York Jets to win this game, but after what happened with Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers' ACL injury, I'm not too tempted on doing that right now. I think they got their Super Bowl in Week 1. That was against Buffalo. So, anyways, that being said, right there, I really, really think that this is going to be a very too close of a call right here. Hold on, I just got something down. I really think this is going to be something the way I look at it for the New York Jets. And Zach Wilson didn't have a fair game himself, to be honest with you. But as for the New York Jets, I really think they're going to probably stick with Zach Wilson. He's been in the league a little while. Was the starter last year. And Zach Wilson played okay last year. He did really decent. But to say the least, I think the way I look at it right here, this is all over Dallas right now. I'm telling you right now, not yet on Dallas. But it's going to happen, but not right now. But I am taking Dallas to win this game in Dallas because I think the way defensively, they're a much better ball club than the New York Jets are on defense. I think that's the way it's going to go and decide it. And Dak Prescott looked pretty good. So, anyways, that being said, I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys over the New York Jets in this game. On the line, this is on the line though. Dallas is favored by 3.5 in this game. I'm going to take Dallas minus 3.5. If Aaron Rodgers was playing, I would have gone the opposite direction. That's how I feel right now on that. Anyways, continuing on, the Denver Broncos and the Washington Commanders. Now, this is a close one as well. I don't really expect I expect this one to be a defensive game, and I think that Denver is going to probably pull this one out. And I'm going to take the Denver Broncos over the Washington Commanders in this game. On the line, though, Washington's favored by 3.5 in this game. I'm going to take Washington plus 3.5. Sunday Night Football. My New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. Now, the way the two teams looked, on both sides of the ball, my Patriots played really well, even though they lost. Defensively, they played really well. They gave up like 25 points, but for 25 points, it didn't look that bad. If you give up an average of 25 or less, that's not really that bad. If you give up over that, I think I'm a little concerned about that. But the way my Patriots played against the Eagles, they almost beat them. They almost did. Like I said, questionable coaching decision by Bill Belichick. And I'm kind of thinking, if this happens again, I'm starting a little to be concerned about Bill Belichick right now. But, to say the least, on the other side with the Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill, they just put up numbers left and right. But Miami's defense gave up a lot of points as well against the Chargers. And that's what I'm going to say. That's going to be the kicker on this one. Put up your good numbers all you want, but sometimes it's going to bite you in the end. And this, the way I see it, I know the history with my Patriots and the Dolphins. The Dolphins always have been a thorn in our side. Always have, always will be. They cost us week 1 last year. But I think from my Patriots standpoint, to be the fair least, I think my Patriots are going to have the thorn on their side on this. Maybe. But, because Miami is always Miami. But I think what my Patriots should do, attack Tua Tagovailoa, attack his offensive line, attack Tyreek Hill, and I think you'll be a solid. Then attack the weak defense, try to figure them out, and if you can do that, I think my Patriots can pull off the upset. And I think that's the way I'm going to see it right there. I'm smelling an upset in this one. I'll say the least. I'll say this. I know, because Chargers defense looked pretty bad too. To say the least for the Miami Dolphins, you're not going to put up 30 points against that Patriots defense. Not. That defense is solid. They played really good. They almost, my Patriots almost beat the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending NFC champions. And I have to say this, if my Patriots gonna have a big upset, this is it. So I'm smelling the upset in this one. I'm picking my New England Patriots at home against the Miami Dolphins. I understand we've been struggling at home since Tom Brady left. If we're ever gonna have a bounce back home game, this is it. So I'm taking my New England Patriots at home against the Miami Dolphins in this game. But on the line, though, the Dolphins are favored by 2 in this game. I'm going to take my New England Patriots plus 2 because I'm picking them to win. But the over and under is 46.5. I'm picking the over 46.5 because both sides offensively, both sides of the ball, they put up at least over 20 points. At least like 20 points or more. So I think that's a fair say at least on that one. So I'm going to go over 46.5. I think they can pull something like that out. In the double Monday Night Football game, the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. Now, the way I saw with New Orleans defense, their defense looked pretty impressive. They really, really did. I really liked the defense on them. Yeah, Carolina's defense wasn't too shabby either, so it wasn't that bad. I expect it to be a defensive game, but I think there'd be enough points to cover the over and under on this one. I was gonna attempt to take the under in this one, but I'm like, I think if I'm gonna look at an opportunity to do it, have a gutsy call, I'll tell you that one in a bit. But just fair to say the least, New Orleans Saints are at home. I'm taking the New Orleans Saints over the Carolina Panthers to win this game. But on the line now, New Orleans is favored by 3 in this game. I'm going to take New Orleans -3. Over and under, it's 40. That's what I'm thinking. I think if it was a little higher than 40, I would have gone the under in this one. But I think they're going to get that. I think they're going to get the over just a bit. I think they're going to crack it just a bit. So I'm going to go over 40 on this one. In the second Monday Night Football game, the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this game, I expect it to be a really close battle. I think this is going to be... Pittsburgh's been a thorn on the Cleveland side for many years. But I think this is going the other way around this year. I really do. But I was really impressed with Cleveland so much that I'm picking the Cleveland Browns over the Pittsburgh Steelers at home to win this game. So I'm taking the Cleveland Browns over the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh in this game. On the line, though, Cleveland is in a pick'em. So no matter what, I'm taking Cleveland to pick'em if it's a plus or minus. Or on that one, I'm taking that in a pick'em because it was a pick'em when I saw that last. So that's what I'm going to go over with. So I'm going to take Cleveland in a pick'em. Over and under, it's 40. I think they can go over 40 in this one. I think it's going to be a close. I think that get a few points here and there. So I'm going to take the over 42 in the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers game. All right, a big shout out this week is my good old buddy Matt, the NFL Fanatic. Check him out and the rest of the NFL YouTube prognosticators in the description down below right here. Until then, this is Andrew Warren signing off saying, rock out and eat your breakfast.